Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds. And today we are going to be telling you about our adventures at SEGE.
2023, baby.
Yes. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. So this was our first ever video game convention. SEGE 2023.
Southeast Game Exchange.
That's right. In Greenville, South Carolina. So we ended up driving down there. It was about 8.5 hours. The ride down was really beautiful. It was super trafficy, but really it took forever to get through Kentucky.
It was pretty smooth though, getting there, other than the traffic.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty lucky.
So when the whole way down, we had talked about two things: the horrible status of our marriage. So my biggest concern is, we were going there obviously to game hunt, but also to meet several of our YouTube friends. And I was nervous that, we'd known each other via YouTube comments and, little videos and stuff. And I was nervous that people in real life wouldn't be the same as they are on camera or in the comment section. But that was pretty quickly put to rest once we got there. Mm-hmm. The other thing we talked about was what systems to hunt for. And I didn't want to go too crazy. I have a tendency of going a little crazy when it comes to buying games. So we knew we wanted Super Nintendo. Our Super Nintendo collection is pretty small. And then for the second system, Mary had the brilliant idea to just let it come naturally.
Yes.
So we'll touch on the pickups.
Let the second system choose itself.
That's right. We'll show the pickups after we kind of go through our little timeline here. Mm-hmm. So we get to Greenville, South Carolina. Get to the hotel, drop off the bags, then we go to Pinky's Revenge. So that is an arcade bar. We went there to meet, Retro Rivals, drink games with Josh, David B69, Samantha Azaria, Modane Designs, Steve Craig, Retro Games, his wife Leanne, Unnecessary Rambling Brandon. I don't think his partner was there. And then Gamer Amers. We all met up at this bar. There was a band called Lame Genie. Mm-hmm. And while we were listening to it, so basically they do metal covers of video game songs, which is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
While we were listening to it, I leaned over to Mary. I was like, I don't think I can hear the guitar. I think they had the drums and the bass volume too high and the guitar too low. So for the most part, we kind of just all dipped outside because you couldn't really talk over them. It's metal music.
You said you've since listened to their music online, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
But
they have their YouTube
concept
channel
itself, I was like, this is a genius idea. This is so cool of an idea. Maybe the venue just didn't shine them in the light that they should really be shined in, because I didn't hear it. But
it's an arcade bar,
cool.
So the acoustics are probably off. They didn't even have a stage; they're just playing on the floor. Mm-hmm. They had really great costumes and
The
production
lighting.
value, the lighting. They had
Light up shoes.
light up shoes, light up glasses. They had sort of like video game music videos playing behind them. So it was really cool. Listen to them online. You'll really enjoy that. So they had all video game themed drinks. So I had like 3 or 4 Luigi's. The Luigi one was really good. I don't remember what was in
Princess
it.
Peach was pretty good.
Princess Peach was pretty good. I liked the Pac-Man one.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you have that just... It was like the pomegranate margarita. Was that Castlevania one? Was it?
Bowser? Was there a Bowser one? There was one that wasn't very good.
Yeah. Neither one of us was that big of a fan of that. But, so we played some games, met some other channels, we went outside and, just chit-chatted. It's so wild that, this is the first time we've met any of these people. And it was just like old friends from high school kind of meeting back up, Everybody was super nice. They're exactly as they appear to be on their channels. There's no fakeness. There's no facade. It's all real. They're all super cool. It was a lot of fun. I'm really happy that
it was very relaxed.
Yes.
And so you just it was just us hanging out, being us.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel weird.
Yeah, it didn't feel weird or awkward meeting a bunch of new people.
Jen and I played a little Street Fighter.
That's right.
And I knew she would whoop my butt. I don't know
why you agreed to Street Fighter. You've played more Mortal Kombat than you have Street Fighter.
Yeah, this is true.
And you picked Blanca, which I don't think I've ever seen you play as Blanca.
I really do like Blanca, though.
Okay.
I just couldn't get him to roll. I wanted to get him to roll.
I think is that 2 spins of the stick to get him? Or maybe that's Kano.
I don't know. But also, at that point in time, I was quite a few drinks in. Because they came a little bit later than we did. So we had a couple of drinks first. And, but yeah. Jen totally whooped me. And I knew that she would.
The second game, you got close.
A little bit close. I did a little better.
You did a little better on the second
but
round.
that feels like it's the same way with board games, right? Like, I learned. So I'll probably always lose the first time, but then I just get successively better.
Okay.
So maybe if I played a few more rounds, I was like, nah, I'm okay. I don't want to get my butt whooped anymore today.
So then Saturday, first day of the convention. A lot of these other channels, they all bought the VIP passes.
So they were in really early.
So they got to get in early.
They also stayed up insanely late. We went to bed at, I think, a relatively decent... I think we got to bed at midnight.
Yeah, midnight or 1. I think we got to the hotel about midnight.
And I think they were talking about getting to bed at like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then having to get up and be at the convention. Now, granted, it's walking distance. The hotel's walking distance from the convention. Having to be there at 7:30. I can't do that.
No. We didn't even get there the moment the doors opened. Like, we were hours late.
Everyone's looking for you.
Yeah, we probably missed, some great games and stuff, but we haven't had time away from the kids in a long time.
It felt really good to sleep. It felt so good to just sleep.
Yeah, so we got up. I took a nice long shower in the morning. We went and got breakfast and, just kind of strolled in, probably around noonish or something.
Yeah.
I think the doors opened at 10. We got there about noon. But we did go see all the panels we wanted to see. So first was Square Pegs and G to the Next Level. They did a Sega RPG panel. So they talked about all kinds of Sega RPGs, like ranging from all the way from the Master System. I think they did Dreamcast, didn't they?
I think so.
I think all the way Master System all the way to Dreamcast. I don't even have a Dreamcast. I don't have a Master System, but I can play it on the Retron.
This was a really good discussion. It was really awesome.
They showed a lot of games.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks awesome, and I've never heard of it.
And games that they showed the games that are like they're really rare and expensive and hard to find, but then they also show games that's like you'll probably find this here really cheap.
Right, yeah. And we actually picked one up based off the recommendations.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a really good game. And they're like those games that kind of fly under the radar that are actually really good.
Right. And then after the panel, we sat around and we ended up talking with Square Pegs. We did talk to G to the Next Level a little bit. He had a booth there. We haven't interacted with him a ton prior to the convention, but we had...
He's really knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's super
really
smart.
Knowledgeable.
But we ended up running into Square Pegs later and just talk about just the nicest, kindest dudes. I mean, we're a tiny channel. And he's big and just super cool.
He actually knew us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Knew us and talked with us and sat around and laughed, and it was awesome to meet him. Up next was Gamer Aimer, and she was doing Nintendo trivia.
I loved this. It was so fun. That was so much fun, and I realized
how little you know about Nintendo.
How little I know about Nintendo, but some of the questions that they asked, I'm like, nobody could possibly know this answer, and like multiple people knew the answer.
So how she does, she split the room left and right along the middle aisle, and was there a prize?
Yeah,
at the end?
there was a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch for
Switch
the
Lite.
for the raffle. I don't know if the actual.
It was just the raffle. So there was a raffle as well as the game was just for fun.
Right. Okay.
And then there
bragging
was
rights.
Bragging rights.
I think our side won.
I think our side won.
There was this dude next to Mary that knew every single question. I was
Man, he's so smart. I was very impressed.
We're happy he's on our team.
Yeah, he was a lot younger than us too,
yes.
which.
Yeah.
You normally, like at these like retro conventions, you kind of expect people maybe more our age. He was a lot younger, but man, he knew his stuff really good.
So that was a lot of fun. We got to meet her. Obviously, we met her the night before. We hung out with her basically the rest of the convention. Super awesome.
Really laid back.
She,
man, does she know how to get a deal?
Oh, yeah.
And that just speaks to my heart. Like, I don't want to buy anything unless I get it on sale. And, like, she has built the most amazing collection that anyone's ever seen.
If you have not seen her game room tour...
build it off of a deal.
Yes. Watch her game room tour. It is amazing in there. But yeah, and she ended up picking up Mario Kart display. That's incredible. She loves those displays. I don't know where she's going to put it all, but, God bless her. The final panel we went and saw was Mort's Garage, and he was doing live Wii game reviews. So he had a couple friends. I know Drinking Games with Josh was in there, and a couple other channels. He gave them all $10. They had to go buy a Wii game at the convention for $10 or under, bring it in, play it for 10 minutes, and determine if this game is garbage or gold. So that was a lot of fun. They picked a Barbie game that we don't have, so Gracie will probably want me to start looking for that one.
Did they end up saying it was gold? I felt it was a little glitchy.
You didn't believe them?
It was glitchy. It was glitchy.
Yeah.
The concept was okay.
It was sort of like Grand Theft Auto Barbie, where you had it was open world and you had missions. You went and talked to people and they gave you a mission.
Yeah.
And then you murder people.
You ride a horse.
It's drive-bys on a horse. It's the same thing. It's still murder.
I just, the concept of the game was fine, but it was it was glitchy. Like, she would walk up to somebody and they would start to disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Nintendo Wii. Burn.
I like Nintendo Wii still.
So we got to do some game hunting. Obviously, while game hunting, we ran into Wazarum, who is wearing an incredible Dr. Egghead costume. I mean, that was amazing. Yeah. He normally has a goatee, and he shaved it into big mustache, and had the goggles and the whole outfit. He looked incredible. He was really nice. We talked to him for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Then after the convention closed, we ended up going to dinner. Neither one of us could remember the name of this restaurant. Literally, it was like a family or high school reunion.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Then we went to this Irish pub that was like right across the street from the hotel.
So we drove to the place where we had dinner, mm-hmm. drove back to the hotel, dropped off our cars, and walked across the street to this place called The Irish Pub.
Yeah. Real creative name.
Yeah.
They dug deep. They had these amazing volleyball courts. That I never associate volleyball and Irish.
As tiny of a place as it was, it had two like pretty good sized volleyball courts in the back.
Sand volleyball courts. It was incredible. Dennis with Retro Rivals is an elite athlete.
Yes.
He does not look like it, but he literally played 3-on-1 sand beach volleyball and was winning.
Whooped him. He's very good.
Yeah.
I was extremely impressed.
Yes.
I was extremely impressed with Dennis in general, just because he just has the best sense of humor.
Yes.
That's the type of like humor that I just absolutely love. And Dennis, I kept saying, I was like, I want to take you home. Because he's just so much fun. He's just one of those people you always want to have around just to keep the mood up.
Yeah. He was a blast. Talked a lot with Steve Craig Retro Games. Really got to know him. We didn't end up playing volleyball. I was like, man, if I get out there, I'm gonna pull something. I gotta drive 9 hours. I can't.
I'm sorry, I'm not athletic. I got through life with my brain.
Okay.
But not my body. So.
Nah, I married you for your body, so.
But. Yeah, I'm not very athletic, so I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Right, but it was almost, I mean, it was just an Irish pub by name. It literally looked like a beach bar. It was wide open.
Yeah.
It started pouring rain at one point in time, and luckily they had enough canopies that we could hide. I drank some Labatt Blue, just to help the Canadians remember, where they are, feel welcome here. Sunday starts. We start off any good day with some Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes, there was a Krispy Kreme right across the street from the
other
hotel.
Side.
So I could walk there and get Krispy Kreme and coffee and bring it back over.
Yeah, while I was taking a shower. Went and did some more game hunting. It wasn't as... I think day 2 we didn't get... Maybe they were a little more picked over. I don't feel like I was like, too much like super excited for some of the games.
But see, it's just the opposite for me. The second day I was more interested in the games because the first day I was so starstruck. Like, we're seeing all of these other channels and like all of these people are like, these people are so cool. I just want to talk to them and get to know them and have fun with them and hang out. And so I was so much into that on the first day that the second day when, people started to kind of leave, I was more interested in trying to find games. And also, like, the place just, as the day progressed, just got more and more empty.
Yeah. It was funny. Like, every time, I think Steve Craig and Leanne left first.
It was Samantha left first.
Oh, Samantha left first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Steve.
And it was like every time someone was leaving, we would be like, okay, so we're going to meet at the food court at, 11:45 because she's got to go to work. And so we'd all gather up and then, give hugs and
take
handshakes and take pictures and say goodbye. So it was fun. We pretty much did it with everyone except Retro Rivals, right?
Because they left the same day that we did, which was
Modane didn't leave early.
Correct.
And Brandon didn't leave early. Unnecessary rambling, Brandon. I think David left. Right? I think that's everybody. But yeah,
David left.
It was just funny. Everyone meeting up to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, it's because we don't know when we're going to get to see everybody again.
That's true. It's a lot of money.
It's really sad and emotional for us because it's kind of like all of us were there doing something that we truly love with people that have like the same passion that we have. And so we were having so much fun. Nobody wants to go back to their lives. Nobody wants to go back to their kids. We want to just stay there with our friends and have fun.
Right.
Because as you get older, you do that less and less. And so it was so cool to just let loose and finally just get to do what we wanted to do.
Right.
For once.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. We did get to go on the Pac-Man Case home tour.
My cousin ate it up there. We're fine.
It's a very nice house.
It's a very beautiful house. It is weird that he wants you to poop in the top section of the toilet. That must be like a South Carolina thing. I've never heard of that before. So I did that.
Very beautiful game room.
Yes. The game rooms.
Which is funny because, like, we're walking in there and I'm like, I've seen his game room tour before. I remember his game room tour.
Yeah.
Because his was one of the game room tours. They were like, you got to see this guy's game room. And that was like one of our inspirations for getting our game room in better order.
When we're walking through his game room, I'm like, my game room is so much work.
Yeah.
Ours is cluttered. You got stuff stacked up behind the camera. What am I going to do with that?
So there was a fun video from Drinking Games with Josh that was done that you can see on his channel.
Yeah, go check that out. I think Retro Rivals, when they do their Siege video, I think that's going to have a lot of that too, because we brought our smaller camera and left it in the hotel room both days.
Yeah, we didn't take it. Just use my phone.
We're professional YouTubers.
But I had my selfie stick. He made fun of me for bringing the selfie stick, but we used that selfie stick a lot.
We did use that selfie stick a lot. Then we went to Mellow Mushroom for some pizza and beer, and we got to meet Retro Wolf 88. We'd been a little bit familiar with his channel. He's actually a board gamer on top of video games, and so
that's really cool.
He had been talking to Do You Nerd and said, hey, when you meet these guys, they'll hook you up. So we got to sit and chat with him. A couple of people that were there that we didn't get to. The section just kind of ran out of seating.
Yeah.
So Pixel Game Squad and Retro Rick were both at the restaurant, sitting kind of with the group. We were kind of off to the side with Dennis and Brandon.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
We still had a blast.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. And the pizza was pretty dang good. We got a Mellow Mushroom right down the street, and I've just never.
Yeah, it was good pizza.
I've never really thought.
We got the veggie one though, and I really liked the pizza that Dennis and Brandon got because it's
important to eat your veggies, kids.
Tons of meat on it, just like whole strips of bacon. It was so beautiful.
Gotta eat your veggies. Don't forget, sneak them in. Sneak them in pizza. It tastes the same. Monday, it's time to leave. Mary was not feeling too well.
I lost my voice.
Yeah. So we had poor air quality in Indy for weeks. Like, it's just gray outside. It's from the Canadian wildfires, just the way the air circulates.
It's the jet stream.
Yeah, whatever. So, and then all the yapping she was doing with Jen and
You have to yell in order to be able to be heard because it was so loud in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was talking more than I usually do.
That's not true.
He talks a lot. So, I lost my voice.
Yeah. So, I was like, oh, you know what? Just she brought her Snuggie. She brought her blankie. She brought her neck pillow. So she just passed out, and I'm driving all the way back.
But we had breakfast at
Maple Street. Right. Breakfast Maple Street Biscuit Company. Yes. Wow. Yum. That was fire. That's probably the best food we had the entire trip.
I love biscuits, though.
Yeah. But even me, I'm not as big of a biscuit head as you are.
I'm obsessed with biscuits. I love biscuits.
Even that was the best food we had the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many there are, or if they're different states or different cities, but Maple Street Biscuit Company is definitely a recommendation from me. So we're driving home, or I'm driving home. But on the way there, I think I drove 6 hours. You drove the last 2.5. I was like, you know what? I'll drive the whole way. You're not feeling good. Your voice is messed up.
It was a very quiet drive home.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. I miss quiet so much.
I could not talk at
Oh,
all.
I've been driving probably about 8 hours at this point. We're back in Indy, and this storm just...
I told you it was coming.
You told me it was coming.
I told you
whispered it was coming.
No. Well, yes, as much as I could. I told you like an hour before it was coming. I said, when we get close to home, there's going to be a really bad storm. Mm-hmm. I can see it on the radar.
We're driving on I-74, and I swear we hit probably 50 giant bugs. It was like all the bugs were fleeing the storm.
There was a swarm.
Smack, 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 smack. Just
And at first it seemed like it was raining, but it was just bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know what bug it was. It was a giant bug.
Yes, giant bugs. Like the entire windshield is just covered in bug guts. Like the windshield, the fluid's not even wiping them off with the wipers. It's just like smearing it everywhere. I'm like, oh God, I can barely see. And then we hit 465, the interstate that circles Indianapolis, and it just dumps.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably the worst storm we've ever driven in.
And then I was like, oh, it's going to get worse. And you were like, thanks a lot. I'm like, I'm just trying to prepare you.
I mean, it was raining so hard, all the bug guts got washed off that the windshield wipers and wiper fluid could not get off. And had to turn on the hazards and drive 15 miles an hour.
A lot of people pulled over.
Yeah, some people pulled over. I've been driving for 8 hours, so I'm like, I'm not stopping. Yeah, I want to get home.
I wouldn't have blamed you, though, if you pulled over, because it was bad enough.
I don't think I could have seen where, like, I basically found the lane that I knew would eventually become our exit and just stayed in that lane.
Yeah.
Like, it was so, you couldn't see anything. Just dumping. And of course, we're in a rental car, so it's like, oh, God.
Yeah. We don't want to put it in a ditch or anything.
We had a lot of fun. We met a lot of great friends. As an experience we'll never forget. Hope to do it again. I know it's, especially for Retro Rivals, it's a super expensive trip. I mean, that's an international flight.
It's really, really far.
It's not too bad for us, so we might be able to go another year that they don't. Or maybe we'll switch it up and go to Midwest Game Classic. We still have free tickets from COVID.
Yeah.
We need to get out there. But you guys came for the pickups. We've heard us blab long enough about a bunch of dumb shit. So, heavy emphasis on Super Nintendo. But first, I think before we bought anything, Drinking Games with Josh just came.
Stopped us. We were on our way in.
Yes. Yeah, we were late.
And he's like, oh, I got something for you. I'm like, we just got here.
So this awesome, I'm going to take it out so you see it in all its beauty. This awesome 3D NES cart, or NES box from Video Game Dust Sleeves. Look at that. It's got his logo on it. It's 3D.
So cool. So cool.
You know, got all that. And then he gave us, what's fun, like,
he thought it was a game.
I thought it was a game when he first handed it to me. I was like, I never heard of that. You know, I just figured it was some homebrew. It's called Double Flagon, but this is actually a flask, so you can put booze in it, and then this part will come out.
They'll never know at a video game con.
Yeah.
They'll never know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a game.
Why are you licking that NES game? You're weird. And then he happened to overhear us, or we were talking to him about our son liking Hulk and calling him Hulk Smash.
Hulk Smash.
So we bought the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
And Georgie's going to think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yes. Yes, Georgie's starting to get more and more into superheroes. Hulk's one of his guys, and Venom, Spider-Man. So he will be excited for that one. But thank you very much, Josh. That was very nice.
That was so cool.
We also talked about, well, just like we forgot the video camera in the hotel room, we also forgot the dust sleeves.
We forgot our dust sleeves, yeah. Everybody has pins.
Everyone had pins and all this stuff.
No, we don't have pins or anything, but...
We just didn't bring nothing for nobody. Just middle fingers all around.
I'm just busy. We're busy a lot.
So, Mary had wanted a game, and we found one copy in the whole place. And we thought that he was overpriced.
He was overpriced from price starting.
Yeah, he's about double. And so we told Jen from Retro Rivals about it.
I was very frustrated.
She's like, don't worry, I'll get it.
She said she's a good bargainer.
Yes. She's like, I'm a great Canadian negotiator, and she will negotiate it. And then she just ended up buying it for us.
Yes.
She did not have to do that.
I didn't know she was going to do that, though. I was like, oh, she's going to bargain for me. And then she bargained the price a little bit lower. I'm like, and the guy's like, I can't go any lower. I'm like, okay. And I start to reach in my purse for money, and she's like elbowing me out of the way. And she got the game for me.
They call that the sneaky Canadian. They get you a gift right in front of your face. Sim Earth. Mary loves her sim games.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with the sim games. Sim Ant, Sim City, Sim Earth.
The Sims.
The Sims. I like them all.
Yeah. All right, so I think we'll do these last. So of course you know us. We had to find the video game or the board games there. So this is a little game called 10, and it's a push your luck auction game in which you're taking turns drawing cards, being careful to not exceed the number 10 or you bust. You know, we're going to find a board game wherever we go. So
yeah, there was a board game table there.
Yeah.
How can you not?
So this is the game that Mary fell in love with when at the Square Pegs panel. Sword of Vermilion. This is complete in box. Yeah, even has a poster. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they said it would be relatively inexpensive, but that it was an awesome game.
Yeah.
So
one thing to note about, and we got some expensive games. Just a quick little side note. I did not pay price charting prices on anything. Sim Earth was the one, and we didn't even pay for it. So what I found to be the best negotiation tactic was bundling. Mm-hmm. So I would find a booth that was at or below price charting, and I'd bundle 3 or 4 games together and make them an offer.
Or say, what's the best you can do?
Yeah, or what's the best you can do on this. Mm-hmm. And so some of these are pretty expensive, but I didn't pay as much as what I could have on eBay. Up next, Gunstar Heroes. This is a fantastic cooperative shoot 'em up. It is missing the manual, but I actually prefer my games loose, so I might even... One day I'm going to make a decision on what to do with these Sega Genesis boxes. I have several of them, but I'm not intentionally picking them up.
Right.
I rented this game as a kid. It's a blast. The makers of Contra broke away from Konami and made this game.
Okay.
So this was originally probably designed for Contra. It's cooperative, run and gun.
So
a lot
it's
of fun.
difficult.
No, it's not. I mean, it's tough. It's not quite Contra hard, though.
Okay.
Okay, now I did organize these cheapest to most expensive just because I'm a nerd. The Adventures of Mighty Max. All the games Mary picked out are you're way cheaper than me.
We collected Mighty Max growing up. I was like, that's so cool. I didn't know they made a video game about it.
I think I had seen that one before.
I know they made a show and everything, so.
This is a game you haven't stopped talking about since we started this dang thing. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2.
My brother played it, and I remember watching this as a kid and being like, I have no idea how he likes that game. So I figured you would love it.
Everything she hates, I love.
I didn't hate it. It just was extraordinarily boring.
Alright, Alien vs. Predator. It's a beat 'em up. I think it's 2-player. Obviously you play as aliens or predators or humans, and you fight a bunch of aliens. Walk to the right and kill everything.
So predators are the good guys in this, huh?
Mm-hmm. Up next, I did not know this was on Super Nintendo. I've played this a ton on PS1, the second one. Civilization. I love Civilization.
You love that game. You love that game. Yeah, and like that's why I think you'll like Romance of the Three Kingdoms because it's boring like that.
Okay. But Sim Earth. Talk about non-stop excitement. Sim Earth.
There's an element of nostalgia there too.
Contra 3, The Alien Wars. I love Contra. I haven't played a ton of this one. 2-player cooperative, run and gun. We will die a lot.
Yeah.
That's
it's Contra,
okay.
it's hard.
Blazon. We went to SEGE a little bit ago, so I have forgotten what some of these are. I'm going to assume this one is a shoot 'em up by Atlas. Biometal. Again, I think this one's another shoot 'em up. When I was there, I looked on my phone to see what kind of games they were. So those two are probably shoot 'em ups. Then we got 3 expensive role-playing games for the Super Nintendo, starting with Lufia 2. This one, I think I got a darn good deal on this one.
I found that one for you.
Yeah. I bundled it with something. I think I got... Was this the one I got?
You got that
Mutant
one
League Hockey?
Mutant League Hockey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this... Retro Rivals really wanted a copy of Mutant League Hockey, but they didn't want to buy a complete box version, so I kept the box and gave them the game. I already had the game, but I didn't have the box. I got a really, really sweet deal on that one. Up next, Chrono Trigger. Now this one does have a pretty sizable label ding in it.
But that made it so much cheaper.
Yes. We saved a lot of money from price charting because of that ding. And again, I bundled it. Everyone talks about that game. Everyone sings that game's praises. So, I love RPGs. Got to try it out. And the one game I had on my to-get list, wish list, was this game. First booth I went to, saw it, bought it.
Yep.
Game hunting's easy. Go to one booth, you'll find it. Evo, the Search for Eden. So this is a role-playing game in which you start off as a fish and you need to evolve your body and get bigger, and eventually you become a human.
Go on to land.
Yeah, go on to land and all that. Those were our pickups. Not a ton of games, but a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, and it was all about the fun.
Yeah.
Like seeing our friends and hanging out, seeing the sights, smelling the sweat. Walk into that hall.
A lot of hot sweat.
First thing you smell. Like, oh, there's the con smell.
Yeah. So if you've ever been on the fence about going to a video game convention or board game convention for that matter, we recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It can get expensive, but you can find deals.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go with some of those heavy hitters. Some of those games, I mean, we're talking $5-10 games there. If you bundle them right. It's a lot of fun. We already miss all of our friends that we saw there, and hope to do it again sometime in the future. Not too far away, but not too close either. Got to save up some money.
Yeah.
Well, let us know down in the comments section. Which game was the best that we picked up? Do you like Sim Earth? Probably not. Honestly, only a crazy person likes that game. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.